You pull on an interior door, and it stubbornly sticks against the frame. Most homeowners assume it's humidity or a warped hinge, but then you notice a hairline crack slowly spreading diagonally across the drywall ceiling a few feet away. These annoyances rarely happen in a vacuum. They are often the first visible symptoms of a failing roof assembly high overhead. Missing shingles and cracked tiles are obvious surface problems. Water gets in, but the skeleton of the house remains intact. But structural damage follows a different path. This involves the compromise of the critical framework, the decking, the rafters, and the trusses that actively hold the home together and maintain its shape. Treating these early warning signs as simple cosmetic defects puts the entire building's stability at risk. A roof is a heavy, load-bearing system, and when its supports weaken, the house physically shifts to compensate. This high-angle view of a Santa Clarita neighborhood highlights a specific environmental challenge. Intense year-round sun and dry heat bake roofing components, drying out sealants and turning underlayment brittle. Nearby wildfires add another layer of stress. Airborne embers and intense radiant heat collect in roof valleys and gutters, degrading vulnerable intersections and exposed materials. Because the region experiences long dry spells, small breaches in the weather barrier go entirely unnoticed. When brief, sudden rainstorms finally hit, moisture pours into these unseen gaps, rotting the wood quietly from the inside out. The end result is a delayed reaction. By the time a roof visibly sags or dips from the street, the internal structural decking has usually been failing for months. To understand how a failing roof shifts a house, look at this wireframe model of the continuous load path. It safely absorbs the massive weight of materials and wind, transferring those forces downward through vertical wall studs into the foundation. This is a sign for the Department of Energy, which provides guidance on these interconnected structures. Building codes mandate continuous load paths to ensure homes resist severe uplift and lateral weather forces. Now imagine a localized weak point, like a separated metal valley where two roof slopes meet. The weather shield breaks, introducing a steady trickle of moisture deep into the structure every time it rains. Trapped attic heat and poor ventilation act as an oven. They bake the damp wood, accelerating the rot of the plywood decking and the wooden trusses, precisely at that leak point. That localized rot compromises the entire load path. The roof loses its ability to distribute its massive weight evenly, forcing the surrounding structure to take on loads it was never designed to carry. The first signs of this failure appear directly inside the attic. Long-term moisture creates dark staining, turns structural wood soft and crumbly, and rusts the metal fasteners. This plaque belongs to the Environmental Protection Agency. Their guidance requires wet building materials to be dried within 24 to 48 hours. When roof moisture is trapped for months, it breeds mold and creates a persistent musty odor. Outside, the home's exterior symptoms quickly follow. The roofline begins to visibly sag, dip, or turn wavy because the decayed decking underneath can no longer support the weight of the roofing. That broken load path forces hundreds of pounds of downward pressure unevenly onto the framing of the home's exterior walls. Those struggling wall studs shift. That movement warps the interior door frames and tears at drywall seams, creating the spreading ceiling cracks you see in the living room. By the time these interior and exterior symptoms appear together, the damage has expanded from a simple leak into a full-scale framing shift. This brings us to the Band-Aid fallacy. Nailing down new shingles or smearing heavy sealant over rotted decking does nothing to fix the underlying structural weakness. Previous superficial repairs often hide deep deterioration. Leaving weakened wood in place leaves the home vulnerable to a sudden collapse under heavy storm debris or the weight of a person walking on the roof. Homeowners should look for patterns: a wavy roof surface, crumbly wood in the attic, and spreading interior drywall cracks indicate an active, progressive structural failure. Repairing a localized soft spot immediately stops the rot before it requires a full-scale reconstruction of the entire roof assembly. If your home is showing these warning signs, reach out to Roof Repair Santa Clarita for a comprehensive structural inspection. Our team will identify the root cause, repair the compromised load path, and secure your home's protective envelope before it fails.